if you have to tell a planner who is mostly into retirement planning, few things in the changing world, what he needs to keep in mind while planning for a clientele's retirement phase, especially the distribution phase where you are telling the withdrawal rate needs to be really carefully designed. So your thoughts on that?
Sure. So I think the first thing that planners have to keep in mind is that because retirement is a recurring goal, it spans over 30 to 40 years, the planning has to be a lot different compared to one-time goals like accumulating a corpus for a house or for a car. Those are relatively easier financial goals to plan for. Retirement requires a complete change, in the thought process. So that's one. The second key thing is that we have to incorporate volatility in retirement planning. Mm-hmm. So when we plan for other goals, this volatility effect may not be, very, very prominent because it's one time. So the portfolio can handle the volatility. But in retirement, where the individual is going to keep the retirement corpus, over 30 to 40 years for multiple decades, that volatility is very, very important to factor. Which is what the session in which we talked about, that we have to incorporate the sequence of return risk, in retirement. And the third is that there has to be a very intuitive way of explaining to a retiree how the retirement planning has been done. So I think the trust between a planner and a retiree in terms of whether the recommendations will be implemented is based on whether the planner is able to briefly and broadly explain that this is the methodology that we have used for designing your withdrawals. Okay. I think that will give the retiree the confidence of sticking with the plan. I think these are the three most important factors to keep in mind.